Hey there, Marvel enthusiasts. Have you ever watched the X-Men movies and thought, wait a minute, isn't Wolverine supposed to be shorter? If you flip through the pages of the comics, you might have noticed that our favorite clawed mutant looks a bit different on paper than he does on the big screen. Today we're uncovering the real Wolverine by comparing his size in the comics to his portrayal in the movies. We'll explore how these differences affect his character, the storytelling, and why Hollywood made some surprising choices. So whether you're Team Comic Wolverine or Team Movie Wolverine, stick around. We're about to embark on a thrilling journey through adamantium-laced history. Let's dive right in and see how size really does matter when it comes to this iconic superhero. Let's kick things off with a trip back to the 1970s. Wolverine was created by the talented trio of writer Len Wein and artists John Romita Sr. and Herb Trimpe. He made his first appearance in The Incredible Hulk number 180 to 181 in 1974. Originally introduced as a mysterious Canadian agent with a fierce attitude, Wolverine quickly clawed his way into fans' hearts. Soon after, Wolverine joined the X-Men, becoming a central figure in the team. His tough-as-nails personality, coupled with a heart of gold, or should we say adamantium, made him stand out. His regenerative healing factor, retractable claws, and animalistic senses added layers of complexity to his character. In the comics, Wolverine was portrayed as a gritty, rugged anti-hero. He wasn't your typical clean-cut superhero. He had flaws, a dark past, and a raw edge that fans found captivating. His struggles with his own nature and his fight for redemption made him relatable and deeply human, despite his mutant abilities. Wolverine's role in the Marvel Universe became increasingly significant. He was not just a member of the X-Men but also took part in various storylines across other titles, showcasing his versatility and importance. His character was intended to break the mold of traditional superheroes and bring a new depth to comic book storytelling. Now let's talk about how Wolverine looks in the comics. Standing at approximately 560 centimeters, Wolverine is notably short, especially when compared to his fellow superheroes. His stature is compact, but don't let that fool you. His stocky and muscular build packs a punch, literally. Wolverine's appearance is distinct. He's often depicted with a rugged look, wild hair, thick sideburns, and a perpetual scowl that hints at his tough demeanor. His signature yellow and blue costume, sometimes with a splash of brown and tan, is designed to accommodate his fierce fighting style. His retractable claws, made of unbreakable adamantium, are one of his most iconic features. Combined with his feral senses and incredible healing factor, Wolverine is a force to be reckoned with. His animalistic attributes like heightened senses and a keen instinct add to his dangerous allure. In the comics, his short stature plays a significant role. It emphasizes his underdog status and his relentless tenacity. Despite being smaller than most of his adversaries, Wolverine often dominates in combat through sheer ferocity and skill. Fast forward to the year 2000, and Wolverine leaps from the comic pages to Hollywood screens. The X-Men film franchise began, bringing our favorite mutants to life. When it came to casting Wolverine, the filmmakers had a big task ahead. Enter Hugh Jackman, a relatively unknown Australian actor at the time. Standing at 6'2", 188 centimeters, Jackman was significantly taller than the comic book Wolverine. Fans were initially skeptical. How can someone so tall play the short and stocky Wolverine, they wondered. The casting choice stirred up quite the chatter among comic enthusiasts. Some were concerned that the essence of Wolverine would be lost in translation, but the filmmakers had their reasons. Jackman's acting chops, physicality, and ability to capture the character's intensity were big factors. Adapting comic characters to live-action films comes with challenges. Directors and casting agents must consider actor availability, on-screen presence, and how the character fits within the movie's universe. In this case, they believed Jackman could embody Wolverine's spirit, even if he didn't match the comic's physical dimensions. Let's take a closer look at Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Towering at 6'2", centimeters, he's nearly a full foot taller than his comic counterpart. This significant height difference was a bold move for the filmmakers. In the movies, Wolverine's physique is leaner yet muscular. Jackman underwent intense training to achieve the chiseled look, showcasing defined muscles and that signature Wolverine grit. His hairstyle and facial hair paid homage to the comics, but were tailored to suit a more realistic, on-screen appearance. Throughout the films, Wolverine's look evolved. From the rugged loner in the first X-Men movie to the battle-worn hero in Logan, Jackman's portrayal showed growth and depth. His costumes shifted from leather suits to more casual attire, reflecting his character's journey. Despite the physical differences, Jackman's performance captured Wolverine's essence, the brooding, tortured soul with a fierce protective instinct. His portrayal added layers to the character, bringing emotional depth that resonated with audiences worldwide. Jackman's charisma and dedication significantly impacted the character's popularity. For many fans, he became the definitive Wolverine, seamlessly blending vulnerability with raw power. First up, the most noticeable difference: height. Comic Wolverine stands at 5'3", 160 centimeters, while movie Wolverine, as portrayed by Jackman, is 6'2", 188 centimeters. That's a 9-inch difference. This change shifts the character's dynamics significantly. In the comics, Wolverine's short stature is a crucial aspect of his identity. It contributes to his small but mighty persona and often plays into interactions with other characters. He's the scrappy fighter who doesn't back down, regardless of his size. His height adds to his underdog charm. In contrast, movie Wolverine doesn't face the same size-related challenges. His taller stature places him on more equal footing with his peers. This alters the perception of his character from a physical standpoint. The underdog element is less pronounced, shifting the focus to other aspects of his personality and backstory. When it comes to build, comic Wolverine is stocky and rugged. His muscular physique is compact, emphasizing his raw strength. Movie Wolverine is leaner, with a more athletic build. Jackman's physique is muscular but less bulky, aligning with modern cinematic superhero aesthetics. Costume adaptations also highlight differences. The comics feature Wolverine in brightly colored suits, most notably the yellow and blue ensemble. This costume is iconic but was deemed too flamboyant for the movie's tone. Instead, the films opted for darker, more subdued outfits, leather jackets, tank tops, and jeans that reflect a grittier, more realistic world. In the comics, Wolverine's height often leads to humorous or tense interactions, especially with taller characters like Cyclops. It also intensifies his ferocity in combat. In the movies, these dynamics shift. The tension between Wolverine and other characters hinges less on physical differences and more on personality clashes and moral choices. Specific scenes illustrate these contrasts. For example, in the comics, Wolverine can be seen glaring up at his foes, a visual that underscores his defiance. In the films, Jackman's Wolverine stares enemies in the eye, changing the power dynamic. Visual aids could highlight these comparisons beautifully. So why did Hollywood decide to supersize Wolverine? First off, casting decisions often hinge on finding the right actor to embody the character's spirit, not just their physical appearance. Hugh Jackman wasn't the first choice for the role. Actors like Dougray Scott were initially considered. However, scheduling conflicts led to Jackman stepping in. His audition showcased his ability to capture Wolverine's intense and brooding nature. Hollywood has certain standards and preferences for leading men, typically favoring taller actors. A taller Wolverine fits the conventional image of a superhero on the big screen. This choice aligns with audience expectations and the industry's norms. Practical filming considerations also played a role. Coordinating action sequences and framing shots can be challenging with significant height discrepancies among actors. Having a taller Wolverine simplifies the logistics of shooting scenes. Directors and producers have commented on these choices. Bryan Singer, the director of the first X-Men films, emphasized the importance of Jackman's performance over physical matching. The goal was to bring depth and authenticity to Wolverine's character, even if it meant deviating from his comic book appearance. There's also the consideration of marketability. A charismatic, tall actor like Jackman can appeal to a wider audience, drawing in viewers who may not be familiar with the comics. His portrayal helped establish Wolverine as a central figure in the franchise. The adaptation process often involves balancing fidelity to the source material with the practicalities of filmmaking and audience expectations. In this case, the decision to cast a taller actor was a calculated risk that ultimately paid off. The size difference between comic and movie Wolverine isn't just about physical appearance. It impacts character development and storytelling. In the comics, Wolverine's short stature affects his interactions. He's often underestimated, which fuels his aggressive demeanor. This underestimation allows for surprising moments in combat where he overpowers larger foes. It adds an element of unpredictability and highlights his fierce determination. In the movies, Wolverine's height alters these dynamics. He's less likely to be underestimated based on size, so the focus shifts to his internal struggles and relationships. The films delve into his past, his search for identity, and his reluctant role as a leader and mentor. His ferocity and combat style also differ. Comic Wolverine is all about raw, brutal strength packed into a small frame. Movie Wolverine exhibits a more refined fighting style, blending aggression with grace. The choreography accommodates Jackman's physique. Fan reactions to Wolverine's size discrepancy have been mixed, but largely positive over time. Initially, purists were skeptical, but Jackman's portrayal won many over. Debates among fans highlight the passion for staying true to source material versus embracing new interpretations. The acceptance of a taller Wolverine reflects a cultural shift towards flexibility in character adaptations. Audiences are more open to changes if the portrayal captures the character's core essence. This shift also speaks to broader cultural conversations about representation and authenticity. It emphasizes that while physical attributes are important, they're just one aspect of a multifaceted character. What truly matters is the portrayal's ability to connect with viewers and honor the character's spirit. So there you have it. From the short and stocky Wolverine of the comics to the tall and rugged version on the silver screen, the differences are striking yet fascinating. We've seen how these size variations impact character dynamics, storytelling, and audience perceptions. At the end of the day, it's the essence of Wolverine that captivates us, the conflicted hero with a fierce exterior and a complex interior. Whether he's 5'3" or 6'2", Wolverine remains an iconic figure who embodies strength, resilience, and a relentless spirit. The evolution of Wolverine from page to screen illustrates how characters can adapt and thrive in different mediums. It reminds us that while physical attributes contribute to a character's identity, they're just one piece of the puzzle.